Okay, so this is my media evaluation, G324, question 2. How effective is the combination of your main product with your ancillary texts? In order to create a professional collective product for my A2 media project, I recognise the importance of synergy throughout my texts and the main product itself. Through constructing my music video and through conducting research into the conventions of music videos, digipacks and magazine advertisements, I established an understanding of the ways in which these products sort of interlink and support one another in the design and their content. I endeavoured to replicate this in my own media product in order to maximise the effectiveness of the product and make it usable by my artist, Abandoning Sunday. Firstly, before I began with my own project, I conducted various pieces of research into the music video, into digipacks and magazine advertisements, which are the ancillary texts that would support and go alongside my main video. And it was important to consider the genre of my own artist when conducting this research, as different genres utilise different conventions in each of these texts. For example, a pop music video would differ hugely from a rock video in its content, imagery, representations, and so on. Hence, I looked at a British band that I likened to my own artist, Abandoning Sunday, a music project which varies between rock and acoustic, and it attracts fans of multiple different genres, which I've sort of addressed in my audience research question. So I studied a music video, digipack and advertisement from Norfolk-based rock band Def Havana, fronted by James Galodi. The band have changed in their style almost continuously throughout the years, and the products have done so accordingly with these switches in genre, to sort of accommodate the changes. Most recently was the album Old Souls, which served as the inspiration for my digipack itself, sort of as a collective, and I analysed the accompanying Old Souls tour as a magazine advertisement that went alongside the album. In the analysis of Old Souls, I looked briefly at the lead single's music video, which was Mildred Lost a Friend. The main analysis that I did was Hunstanton Pier, but I also looked at Mildred when analysing Old Souls, in order to draw links between the two products and how there was a support between the music video and the digipack and how they link together. So immediately from this research, a theme became apparent, which could be related to the uses and gratifications model, which I discussed in my analysis of Old Souls. On the digipack, the front cover shows a small child running across a pale beach. The theory states that the audiences seek out the media that they wish to consume and focuses on what the audience does with the media text rather than what the media does to the audience, which would be more the hypodermic needle theory. Where other bands would perhaps overtly brand themselves on their covers, where audiences are given a prescribed view, which is typical in pop music, the blank canvas of the inside cover creates an open interpretation for the band and for the audience, so they can make their own use of and decide what it symbolises in terms of the band's ideologies. This is a much more descriptive approach, I feel, in which there is no set idea of the band that's given in the digipack, which that makes them so much more accessible to the audience, which ultimately is what I want to replicate in my video. Translating that into there means I can attract so much more in my audience and ultimately increase the band's sales, which is the purpose of the project. However, creating the link was then important, obviously. It should be noted that the theme of the children continues into the music video. For example, when I looked at Mildred, it follows two children throughout the video, one of whom sort of bears a really striking resemblance to the child that's used on the front cover of the previous album, which was Fools and Worthless Liars. And that could perhaps be sort of an older version of the child on Old Souls, creating a link at how the band's changed. It does depict sort of the child as doing some adult tasks, like working in an office, and does also feature several shots by a beach, continuing the coastal theme of the digipack for Old Souls. This research was vital into creating my own product, as now I understood how to make my own products effective and to construct them with synergy in mind. So like with Def Havana's set, I knew location could be an easy link to create. My digipack is shot mainly on Thorpe Marriott Green, which is nearby to and the same location where I filmed some of the shots in my music video. It's really close to me, so it was easy to take the shoot as well. So the shots include Elliot's character at the end of the video. That was in the first draft cut. As of then, I think that's going to be cut out for the final. But there are some other shots that sort of from here creating a link. And some of the opening sequence shots, so sort of right at the start where real talk is displayed, and there's a time lapse over the field, That's in the exact same place for where the back cover is for Real Talk. That's the exact same spot. And the opening time lapse of the field is actually the same image for all three of the inside panels for the Digipack. So having the three panels covered by the same image was something that was inspired by Old Souls, which is what they did with the open beach canvas, which I discussed more about in question 1 and sort of how I've utilised conventions. But I found this to be effective, and the image also created direct links to my video, creating synergy and obviously making it more effective. So this, of course, is the most basic of links between my main product and the ancillary texts. It tends to be one of the most effective. I've seen it was used, so I knew that using that was going to be an effective way of creating synergy in my products. But I also created a house style, which is something that all artists have. They have a specific logo and a specific font text that they'll use across all their products for at least a specific album or period of time. I know Def Havana did that, definitely. Lonely the Brave, my other band that I analysed, have also done this. And it's sort of a common thing that you'll see across all bands in the genre especially. So I've taken one and I've applied that to all of my texts as well. The font in question is called Please Write Me a Song. And I've replicated this to enhance the interconnectivity between all of my texts. So it was selected after a lot of deliberation. There were loads of fonts I could have picked between. I used defont.com, really good website that I found to find a huge array of fonts in different sort of handwriting, calligraphy type fonts. And I chose that as it wasn't too sort of brash or bold. It reflected the nature of my artist ultimately, because obviously there is the softer side to my artist with the acoustic tracks, and there's also the rock tracks as well. And I thought it sort of reflected how he was portrayed in his previous albums. So this text is seen in for the text of Banding Sunday and for Real Talk at the start of my video, and Struggle is also shown at the end in the bottom corner. That is the main font used in the Digipack artwork for the album Struggle, which has just been released, and in a magazine advertisement. So also on this topic, the two ancillary texts link together very strongly, specifically through their content. Naturally, the advertisement has the front cover of the Digipack itself, taking up a large proportion of the poster on the page. That clearly links the products together. You can see that on the magazine advertisement there is the album logo, and the album cover obviously goes alongside that. I also obviously used the font, which being the same, creating the house style. And I included some of the track names from the album, which is on the back cover, on the poster itself. Obviously that's going to benefit the artist, so people will see that's got these two songs on it, as well as the new single, but it creates that link between the products. So those in question were Words and In Your Dreams, both ones I've sort of referenced throughout my blog this year. But I've also connected them more subtly. The backdrop of the advertisement itself is taken along Marriott's Way, which is local to me in Thorpe Marriott, and it's also the same place where the back cover was taken. I think the image for the magazine advertisement is just a few hundred metres further down in sort of a darker location, and so shares some of the thematic meanings that I created originally with the Digipack's back cover. I discuss this throughout sort of my blog in regards to location, how I make a reference to the famous epic poem, The Divine Comedy, obviously by Dante, specifically Inferno Canto 1, wherein I reference the line, midway upon the journey of our lives, we find ourselves within a forest dark, for the straightforward pathway has been lost, or obscured, depending on which reading of that you're looking at. And then as I discuss in my Digipack analysis of my own product, this path may seem sort of monotonous and endless, but ultimately there is an end. The brightness of the image contrasts the literal meaning of the word struggle, which is the album cover, which is like in the front cover, with the happy image that's contrasting, showing happiness compared to a struggle. The shaded areas could also be seen as representative of struggles along the path, and the brighter areas sort of offering the positives along the way, which is a sort of simple light versus dark analogy that gives clear connotations that relate back to the struggle again, the name of the album. The advert also is in keeping with the autumnal theme, which is established in the images of a Digipack. There are regions of colour contrasted with the browning leaves, helping these colours to sort of stand out when I did some editing in Photoshop that really came apparent, such as the yellow leaves to the right of the advertisement that are not yet brown, sort of in the foreground. The bare trees and sort of dying leaves are perhaps indicative of some of the issues that the album deals with, such as themes of sadness. Typically with this one, sort of winter or seasonal depression sort of will be dealt with in those images. but it more so sort of gives a sense of tranquility, which I found really effective. So both of these relate back to the issues that are dealt with in the music video as well. So those two products link together, then I create synergy by linking that back to the main product. So there are religious references in both halves of the narrative. In my video, obviously, there's Elliot's side, which deals with the relationship, and then there's Tom's side, which is more the friendship aspect. And I sort of use these religious references because Abandoning Sunday is a religious artist, and I thought that was something I could definitely use, make my video sort of a bit more unique. And my artist, I thought it was important to reflect those ideas that my artist was creating. So Tom finds himself, in a sense, lost within the forest that he's in, where he goes to find tranquility and sort of peace of mind, like in Dante's poem, find himself within the forest dark. And Elliot's sort of loss of faith in the church, the scenes that are shown there, that's a bit more overt, but it links more to ideas of hopelessness, depression, and so on that are also dealt with more subtly in the ancillary texts. Overall, I feel that the links between my products are very effective. The digipack, although minimalistic, appears aesthetic and professional, which is something I wanted to create from the offset. It links to the main product and advertisement overtly, of course, through locations, and of course the house style as well, so that the audience immediately recognises each of these texts and then associates that with Abandoning Sunday. Furthermore, there are of course more subtle links between my products, which sort of makes the whole package have synergy, including the references to themes, religious context, and the issues that are dealt with in the song Real Talk for the music video and the album as a whole. Of course, there are things that don't link, such as the dog on the front cover of the digipack doesn't appear in my video at all, but it does kind of link with the ideas that are portrayed in the video, the symbolisation of hope, the lyric "We've come way too far to give up," and so on in Real Talk, and of course freedom and happiness. The locations do sort of give a sense of freedom, and at the end of the video especially, there is a much greater feel sort of emotion and happiness, which is, as I spoke about in another evaluation question, was inspired by learning the Braves video Backroads. That's shown towards obviously the end of my video as the narratives are resolved, but the image itself doesn't link. I found that to be quite an interesting thing to include. Yeah, I wanted to create something that was, although inspired by previous products that I know to have been effective, I wanted to create something that was unique to my artist's style and lyrical themes, that was eye-catching and professional, and I feel the combination of my texts is effective enough to have accomplished these aims. And this concludes my evaluation of question 2, how effective is the combination of your text with your ancillary texts, and the conclusion of my director's commentary. So thank you for watching.
And I know that there are miles in between where we both are, but in my memories and dreams, just to know you're never very far. And don't be upset, we'll both be home soon, and we'll hold each other close and stay up late, so I can tell you all the secrets no one knows. It's time to go to sleep now, love, but you're the one that I'll be dreaming of.
So the album Struggle by Abandoning Sunday is out now. It's using different artwork, just obviously the stuff I've created, that's more of an alternative. And yeah, the single for Real Talk will be released soon as well. So update for you. I'd like to say a big thank you to Michael for letting me use his work. It's been a pleasure working for an artist that's obviously done albums and stuff before in the past. And yeah, I urge you to go and check it out. The album's on iTunes and Google Play. You can get stuff from the Abandoning Sunday website as well. Thanks for watching.